And welcome to the OHIO podcast. We are here today, and it's the off season, Eric. So sometimes we have to find some creative and colorful ways to fill our days. So I thought, what better way than for two big guys to get on here and talk about obviously one of our favorite parts of football, and that is the tailgate party. Specifically, our list of the top five tailgate foods for our
Okay.
football tailgates.
I would say we're kind of experts on that
I,
department.
I think that we both do a pretty good job of handling the tailgate food. A lot of things are going to be left off this list. There's some things that you may think belong
Oh, yes.
that you may disagree with something I have on the list, but that is okay because we all know at the end of the day, I'm fat and I'm right. So let's start out with number five. Now, for me, Eric, number five has got to be the hot dog. It's just a classic. But I don't want just any hot dog. I don't want a cheap Sugardale hot dog off or not the sugar, the Bar S or whatever it is, hot dog off the 99 centers from the grocery store. No, give me the quarter pound all beef hot dogs. And man, you can do it like you've got it pictured there: the ketchup, the mustard, the onion and relish, however you like it. For me, I'm a chili and cheese guy. Give me some chili and cheese on that thing, and
hmm
I think you have got one of the top five football tailgate
Do you,
items right
do
there.
you call that the coney? Do you call that a coney dog?
A coney dog, yeah,
Yeah. So we know Big Nut's a big fan of the coney dog.
yeah.
He told us that. Um, I gotta feel like if you were doing like your top ballpark foods of all time, like the hot dog's got to be number one. Like you cannot go to a baseball game and not eat a hot dog.
Well, yeah, and not to spoil it, but number five was tough for me.
Was
Number
it?
five was tough for me because I could have gone hot dogs. I sit here and I had my wife here talking about it with me. I had my son talking about it. We run around hot dogs, wings. You are a wing master, Eric. So
And
wings were
and and,
definitely
and
something
that's
that
see,
was
that's
on
what I'm going
there.
to argue with you about because
And
and
then,
I don't want to ruin it, but I
eh,
am going to argue with you on that one.
but let me tell you, one of the reasons I went with this is I tried to go with foods that were either you could do right there at the tailgate site,
Okay,
or that was a quick reheat.
gotcha. Okay,
And I just felt like reheated wings just don't do it for me. You got to have those wings fresh.
you do, you do. Now, but speaking of the hot
You
dog,
can barbecue them, but
yeah, speaking of the hot dog, we've done hot dog at our tailgate now for what 2 or 3 years in a
2 or 3 years, yeah.
and it was a big hit this past year. We went through a ton of hot dogs, and it was. I think I ended up having four of them myself that day. I was so
That's
hungry.
about what I have. Is about 4 or 5 of them. Yeah.
They were good, and your wife did a great job of grilling those. So, all right,
Once we got the grill going.
yeah, I love number four, by the way.
Yeah. Number four for me is huge. Give me some of that good old queso dip with the rotel, tomatoes, the sausage. This is something that you can take to the game, have it in one of the little foil containers, heat it up there over one of the little sterno burners, and man, I'm telling
Plug
you,
it in, crock pot, boom, there
crock
you
pot,
go.
whatever you got, yeah. If you have the means for the electric, by all means, use the crock pot. But yeah,
If you're
this is
gonna
one of my
do,
favorites.
if you're gonna do a dip
Yes.
at the tailgate, this is the one you've got to have.
If you come at me with a spinach or artichoke dip at a tailgate, I'm going to throw it at you. I'm just
See that
telling you
that's
right now.
that's my wife's go-to. She loves that, but we've never taken it to a tailgate. We always do it at our home watch parties.
And I see I'm okay with it at a watch party, but I don't want it out in the cold at my tailgate.
Yeah, the queso's a go-to. You can actually have that stuff for breakfast, man. It's that
Oh
good.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I've put it on eggs. I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, scramble up some eggs, throw it on some eggs. It's
yeah.
good stuff.
That's a good choice on you. Number four is a good choice. I love number three too, but see, if you're gonna argue with me about wings, then this is where you lose your argument.
Really? Oh
Yes,
yeah, I gotta have my pork ribs, man.
I
Gotta
love
have the
ribs.
pork ribs.
It's a tailgate staple.
You take them and barbecue them right there at the site and
Yeah,
just go to town, man.
right. So if you're gonna barbecue those at the site, you got to be able to barbecue wings.
You can barbecue the wings. I just feel like the ribs for me. I'm a rib guy over a wing guy. I'll be the first to admit it.
Mm.
And I love my wings. Don't get me wrong. I love my wings, but there's just something about the pork ribs that just do it for me.
You see, I think you can barbecue wings quicker
You can do them
than
quicker.
ribs.
Yes.
See, I think
Yeah,
ribs
you
are gonna
almost have to. You almost have to slow cook the ribs.
yeah, you see, you're
You
gonna
got to be there at 5 a.m. for an afternoon game.
yeah, you're if you're gonna do ribs, you're gonna have to start them early, and the game's not gonna start until like 3 o'clock.
Yes.
So people are coming into the tailgate at about 12:30, 1:30. You're
Yeah.
dropping those wings off at everybody about 1 o'clock, but you're starting them suckers at the tailgate extra early. See, so if you got a noon kickoff, ribs are not your go-to, man.
Yeah.
Where I think wings could be.
They could be. So number two, this one's interesting, Eric, because I don't know if you know this or not, but this was actually I found out recently voted as Ohio's number one tailgate food.
What?
Yes.
Okay. When we saw your list, I shared this list with my wife, and she and I both agreed. Chili is perfect in the fall at home watching games on television.
Oh, I think it's perfect in a tailgate, Eric.
Oh,
Come
I
on.
disagree completely. I
Come.
disagree completely. Chili,
What?
like if chili's on the spread at the tailgate, that's the last thing I'm going to at the tailgate.
Well, that's just because you're worried about how crowded the bathrooms are going to be.
Well, that's a part of it, isn't it?
No, it's not. I'm telling you, chili is perfect for the tail. It keeps you warm. Like I said, if you're having dogs at the tailgate, you got chili for the dogs. I think it is a perfect, it's a keep you warm. It's a hearty thing. It's going to fill you up because God knows if you're taking a family of four to that football game, you can't afford $10 per burger.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. And well, and here's the thing. I think chili, you bring a good point. Chili's also cost efficient. You can make a whole bunch
It
of it
is.
and you can feed a whole lot of people at a tailgate. So if you have a tailgate that's going to have 50, 60 people or more, chili's the kind of the go-to here a little bit.
I think yeah, that may be
You're
part of the
starting to
reason
win
it's
me
just so
over, Chris.
popular.
You're
I'm
starting to win
telling
me
you.
over there.
And I got to feel like, you know, if we have a chilly spring game next year or a cooler spring game next year, I may just have to have Bobby whip up a pot of chili just so that I can prove to you just how right it is for a tailgate.
So to fix the bathroom problem, I think you take the beans out. You do the chili without the beans.
You don't do chili without the beans, Eric.
Oh yeah.
You man up, you get through the game, you clench your buns, whatever you got to do, but you get through that game and you do it with the beans. You don't take the beans out. It's not chili if you take the beans out of it.
Yeah, it is.
That's like I had somebody tell me to put rice in chili. You do not put rice in chili. It
I
just
never.
doesn't work.
I don't know. All
One
right.
carbohydrate, and that's beans. That's it.
All right. So Ohio apparently is all about the chili at the tailgate. All right, number one, man.
Number one, this is like my favorite. Whether it is now, I prefer sausage, but I know a lot of people prefer brats. Let's go with the sausage with peppers and onions. I love this combination. Uh, some people like to do the sauerkraut, but
So
I'm a big peppers and onions guy.
let's get something out of the way right away. Brats are far superior to hot dogs,
Absolutely.
right? Okay, we all
Yes.
know that. So
Yes.
if you're gonna have hot dogs in this list, which I think they should be, you definitely have to have brats on this list.
Yes.
However, brats should not be number one on this list. You have completely missed the number one tailgate food that you absolutely should have. If you're going to do a nice tailgate and you're going to have ribs and you're going to have
You
brats,
gonna fight for a steak here, Eric?
you're going to absolutely have to have Buckeye Boggs grill you up some steaks, baby.
And I love steaks, but to me, I don't feel that. Again, I went
Come
with foods
on.
I like, but also I don't feel we talked about a cost effective tailgate item. Could you imagine trying to buy steak for 60?
Small steaks. Well,
Small, and it also has
not
to be a
everybody's
very
gonna
poor
steak it
cut.
up at the tailgate. I promise you. But
I'm telling you, if you throw steaks on a grill in Columbus, Ohio on a game day, those steaks are going to go, whether it's you, your party, or somebody walking
and
by.
and you know
Those
why they
steaks are
would
going to
go?
go.
You know why they would go? Because they're number one.
They're not number one. They're good.
They are.
They're great. But you know what? They're not. They're just not.
They
From a
are.
cost basis, I don't think you can go that route.
All right, let's take cost out of it. All right, let's say you land the lottery next year, Chris, and cost is no longer an issue. You can literally
Well, then it's
pull
New
up
York
the
strip for
tail.
everybody.
All right, baby, there we go. Number one. That's it. This is the
Unfortunately, I
OIO
haven't entered the
podcast
lottery.
brought to you by A1 Sauce this week. I mean, come on.
Dude, don't ever suggest if you got a good cut of steak, you do not put A1 sauce on it.
Sure you do.
No, you don't ruin a good steak.
Actually,
You could use A1 sauce to cover the flavor of a bad steak. You don't put it on a good steak.
so what you do, I've come up with the perfect sauce. You put a nice little bottom layer of ketchup. You then put a little A1 sauce on top of the ketchup. Now listen, hold on. Then you put horseradish sauce, some dips of that in there. You mix it up. Oh, it's so good. Such a good sauce for your steak.
If the steak is a crap cut, go right ahead. Do whatever you want. It's kind of like I got a buddy of mine I play fantasy football with. We always bring food over to the fantasy football. What's his favorite food? McChicken sandwich. But he has to have it with ketchup and mayonnaise only. No, it's just not. I'm sorry, my dude Bryant, it's just not. He thinks it is, but it's not. Just
I
like
have
you
had
ketchup on a horseradish with A1, you don't put it on a good steak. It's
hey,
just not.
I have had steak without sauce, okay? But what I am saying is it can indeed enhance the flavor. It absolutely can.
Here's the other thing about steak that makes it kind of an issue for me. Obviously, one of our other the other favorite tailgate treats, I guess you would call it, is imbibing adult beverages.
Mhm. Sure.
A brat or a hot dog can survive a little bit of overcooking if you've had a little too much to drink. A
Yeah, well,
steak's not going to survive an overcooking. It's just not going to be
no.
good.
No, you've got to do this. You cannot
Steak has to be
if
perfect.
someone tells me they want their steak well done, I'm going to give them like a what?
You're going to hit them with it, right?
What? Like that thing needs to be
Just give
pink.
a piece of shoe leather.
Exactly. And the fact that we're having this much discussion about steak proves to me that you should have had it on your list.
And I considered it. I considered it. I considered wings. I wasn't feeling it.
All
I,
right.
I felt that like I said, I think the cost factor was the main concern for me.
It's your list, man. It's your list.
So anyhow, tell us what you think. What are your top five favorite tailgate foods? As always, please like our videos. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Definitely, hey, consider joining us. Catch some of our great memorabilia that we have. Some of our great merchandise that we have on the store that you'll get free shipping on. You will get a wonderful, Eric, please, a wonderful member-only T-shirt for after your first month of joining. It is only $3.99 a month, and hey, you're going to get lots of great behind-the-scenes content. We're getting ready to pump out another video this week, so check that out. Only $3.99 a month. So, for now, thanks for watching. Eric, OH,
IO.
go Bucks.